Alright guys, welcome back. So last weekend, I was meant to take Synchron. It's already built with the new ban list, with the new with the Strudel triple teleport. And then when I got to the event, I was like, oh wait a second, we're still abiding by the old ban list, because I was watching like on YouTube like all the events that were utilizing the new ban list, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I just thought, okay, yeah, we're using that too, and that was not the case. So it was unfortunate, but still I took solid. Did pretty good. But yeah, like taking into account, considering what we have now with triple teleport, it's insane. And one of the issues with the deck is like sometimes like you draw too many junk synchrons or too many starter synchrons. I guess if you draw tunings and junk synchrons and convert and overtake, you can kind of find a way to solve that issue, right? And this is what I'm going to show you guys right now, because it's something that it was obvious, it was something we've tried before in the past, but nothing I really considered like until I was like getting frustrated with the deck. I was like, oh my god, this is so annoying. Okay, so this is where the debate starts, right? What do you play? Triple Side Reflector or just one Side Reflector, right? And then like you play Ogre, and then you play the Psychic Ace, which is something I was testing out. I mean, it did work. It did well. It does give the deck a bit of utility. It's just that when you open the Psychic Ace, you can special summon it. If it was like Psychic Wielder and Psychic Tracker, that'd be amazing if you could special summon it. Like, that'd be so cool. But you can't, and that's kind of the issue. Whereas, like, if you put this in its place, at least if you open up like Doppel, you can like, you can try to get to your Marcher play and get things going, right? And then this is an automatic Chaos Ruler and gets everything going by getting stuff to the graveyard. And it's a level 1, it's dark. It has some synergy with if Speeder gets negated with Imperma Veiler. Let's say you make it with Doppel, because like it dodges Ash, but it doesn't dodge Imperma Veiler. So then that should be fine, because then you go teleport into one of this, and then whether you use this effect or not, it's completely up to you, depending on, I guess, your hand and your sequencing, because you can do it then, but then you can also just do the Shaman play first. And then like if you have multiple teleports or multiple accesses to this guy, you can just go like, okay, well, I'll do the revive beast effect later, you know. So taking that into consideration, it's like it just helps that scenario where your speeder gets negated, and then you're like, oh, well, all I have is a non-tuner level 5 synchro and 2 tokens, and then you go, oh, I have teleport. Teleport goes into Reflector level 1, make Shaman. If that gets negated, okay, you go into Marcher, right? And then you make an 8. Most likely you're gonna be either an Omega or it's gonna be a Chaos Ruler to try to hit the more Doppels and more Caligos, and then on top of that try to hit the starter synchrons. So it gives you like more lines of play, which is what I liked about this. So it's debatable, right? It's debatable, just whether to play 3 or 1, or you know. It's still like in progress. There's no real right or wrong answer at the moment. And then playing triple Caligo, I experimented with just playing at 1, but the way like I was understanding the deck with the dynamic of this and the triple teleport, I was like, well, opening up these two with Doppel is still pretty good, right? Because like this most likely will either hand trap, right? They'll go Veiler or Imperm or Ash this, because they're not going to want you to get anything. Then you go special this, right? And make Marcher and try to continue from there. And then if that fails, then you might have tuning or junk, and then you bring back this, you know? So it just puts more pressure into your opponent. And you want that variation to be as come up as often as possible. And yeah, and it's basically punishes people that imprint the junk, you know? It's just really good. But it's like, it's an obscure situation, because like you kind of want to negate the junk, because otherwise you get Doppel, and then you just, yeah, it's pretty insane. And of course you have like your level 2s, right? You have your Double Warrior, insane. It's like the MVP of the deck for sure. Then you have a junk converter. That's like your silent mining. Discard itself in a tuner. Add any synchron from your deck to your hand, which is really nice. And then when you synchro summon with it, you get back a tuner, which is pretty cool. It solves that issue when you go junk into this, into speeder, then negate speeder with Imperma Veiler, and then this will revive the junk, and then you just make a Chaos Ruler and hopefully hit a Doppel and then what's it call it, any of your dark or light targets, right? And then of course you have your triple Veiler. It's just a hand trap that just synergizes so well with the deck. It's a light level 1. It's a tuner to top it off. and it's a light to just banish off a ruler, because sometimes you don't really have that many lights, and sometimes you have to like sequence out a light to have the ruler live to get like a Baroness play or an Abyss play. But it's really, really good. And then you have like your one-ups, right? Okay, this is the new addition. This is insane. Like what this does for the deck is amazing. Like the fact that it's the obvious reason, right, where you just discard it with Converter is insane. And the fact that it has like another graveyard effect that to trigger Doppel with is crazy. Like it's just so good. Like it's just so good, man. It's just really good. And then of course you have your beast because of the Cyber Reflector teleport engine. And then you have your Certus Trail, and of course what I was hoping for, Jet to come back, but it didn't come back. But nonetheless, Cyber Synchron still gets the job done. Still pretty good. And then we go to the spells, okay? So you have triple tuning, right? Just consistency, because like you want to have the variation of since you're maxing out the Caligos, right? And you're maxing out like this guys as well. So like having these two card variations on top of taking this into account that you have this as well. This goes into that. So many ways to get to Junk Synchron, right? And now you have like ways to get to a ruler play. So like if this gets Ash, okay, start a Synchron and just pitch this to search the junk. So if the junk gets Vader or stopped, then you can still special this and continue, right? But if they do Ash you, then you just go, okay, already have a junk anyways, or you have another tuning, or you have an overtake, and then you just continue. You know, like you want that variation to be there. Then of course overtake, one of the best support cards for the deck, hands down. It's just insane. It just helps the recurability. Like the fact that you can add it back from grave is insane. And then the new addition, of course, triple teleport. Triple teleport is insane, man. Like the fact that what I mentioned earlier, where if you do the speeder play with junk and doppel and it gets stopped, and then you can go okay teleport. And it just continue. It's just so good. Like, you know, and it's at 3. So you have like 3 extenders, which is insane. Okay, so now we're gonna get to the point where it kind of solves the issue of opening up like multiple Cyber Reflectors, multiple Caligos, multiple like junk accesses, right? Because like that's annoying. Like you don't really want to be have an abundance amount of junks in your hand. And that's why I'm playing Allure Darkness, because it's filter, right? It gets rid of the excess darks that you just don't want, right? Because there are times where you have multiple Caligos that you just don't know what to do with, and you might have already used it. It gets you deeper into your deck. Sometimes you have excess Cyber Reflectors, banish those. You have excess junk synchrons, you just banish those, and then you can take into account that these are basically darks, you know, and it's just basically filter, just to get to your deck faster. And it seems like, because this deck is over 40, but the more and more I tried, the more I was like, oh my god, this is hard to keep it under 40. Like, it's just hard. Because if you do, then you would have to cut like consistency cards, right? But then that defeats the purpose of the deck being consistent in the first place. Like, you can easily just, okay, you can cut the tunings, right? You can cut this to 1, but those scenarios I just mentioned before is what you want to open with. That's what you want to have. So you're compensating for that scenario with this, right? Does that make sense? Like, that's the whole point of the purpose of Allure Darkness, because you want this to happen as consistent as possible. Like this 2 card variations combined with this, and this as well. Like, you want that. You need that. You need persistence. Otherwise, you're just gonna push past like one interruption, and that's like one of the things that the deck struggles with. And I know that this helps quite a lot, and it helps you get to your side deck as well. And you can, like, even then you can just even side these out, you know, like side this for actual like side deck cards. But yeah, more often than not, it gets to what you're missing. Like, so many times I go, I have like multiple junks. Okay, Allure, get rid of the junk, or I'll go Caligo and then draw into a doppel and like a tuning or overtake. I'm like, oh wow, this is so good. And then especially off librarian draws, like, it's just so good, because you can just you're gonna be drawing so many junks that you can't use, so many Caligos you can't use, so many doubles that are redundant, and then you just go and side reflectors as well. You can just banish it and just draw two, and then just get to your side deck card. And then of course you have like the one-ofs, right? I'm playing Pot of Desires. It's a bit weird because it's just a one-of. But it's just like that. The extra card just makes all the difference. You know, it just gets you deeper into your deck. And of course, like, you'd want to like get the teleport engine out as fast as possible. So like, just draw phase, go to Reflector, search the beast, and then main phase activate the beast, search, and then you just desires, and then hopefully get something from there. And then Rhoda, Foolish, it has much more value now because of the Shirdo, which is insane. Stardust Illumination, just you need to play it for the Stardust. And 1-for-1, it just becomes another power card. It's basically like a Dawnwalker, and when you don't open up teleport. And then of course you have your Reborn, and then of course still you're playing the Magical Midbreaker, because it's like there's a lot of outlets right now, and it's super annoying when they can just like torrential you, punishment you, conquistador you, or like try to like find a way to destroy your stuff. And it's just prevents you from being targeted, which is really nice as well. But yeah, those are pretty good. I mean, I was playing Call by the Grave. I mean, you can, but I don't know. It's already like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of high already. The someone activate, and then you main deck and reboot, because Owlitch is gonna be everywhere, or any trap deck that has triple skill drain in it. Like, you're just gonna be annoying. So you need that one like blowout card that, okay, reboot. I don't want to deal with anything. Like, you just don't want to deal with anything. You just, you're just really, really good. So like, the main deck seems solid, right? It seems like, oh, it makes sense, right? Once you get to ratios, like, you can get really peculiar with it, but it seems fine. And then these are like things I'm considering, because like I'm not sure how prevalent draw is gonna be, and it gives teleport more value, more versatility, because it gives you a level 2 tuner. So like how I mentioned before, when you do the doppel play with Junk Synchron, and you make a speeder, and then you're gonna get your speeder, then you can teleport into this, make a marcher first, right? And then have them bait that. So like the moment you bring back the level 1 tuner, or any other level, any tuner for that matter, you can put pressure, and it's especially like if it makes it gives the other dead gammas a bit of purpose. Assuming like I guess you can kind of find a way to get this to your graveyard with Omega. There's like niche plays you can do, but most often than not, you can just teleport these out, and just not have them dead in your in your deck. I mean, of course, you could just discard them off of Converter. That works as well. But I'm not sure how prevalent just trolls gonna be. So I don't know, because I was main decking this, because there's light. It's light. You just mill off Ruler as well. And like doing little niche plays where you go Ruler, and then you kind of mill, and then you gonna miss, and then you all you have is an Omega play. Tribute to Ruler, make an Omega, and then standby phase, return something, betrayal most likely, and then use it effect and banish it, and then have this live, like the little niche things like that comes up. But I don't know, because like it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird gamma. And then of course playing like into the PK board, which is kind of annoying, because like Scythe is still not banned. So that has to be addressed. Like, you just can't ignore that, which is why I want to like main deck Cosmic Cyclone, like Cosmic Blazers attack. No, but you just hit the Scythe, it just hits Owlitch traps as well. So they won't have like they'll get like a little momentum shift where they just don't get any resources off of the one pop, and then they can link it away, and then set under the Sanguine, and then start snowballing from there. But yeah, it's mainly strictly just for Scythe. You just go like hit the Scythe. The same thing with these. Like, having these together versus Scythe is insane. And then just more back row hate, right? Just more like whether to main deck these guys or not. Main deck this. And yeah, I don't know. Like, these are just cards I'm considering. But like, if you can add all of these, because then you'll be over 40. Right now it's like at 45, I think. 40. I'm pretty sure like 45, 46, around there. But like I said before, you can like cut down on your reflectors, and you can like cut this, but like it defeats the purpose of what I just mentioned, like the variance of what cards you want to open with together, But yeah, Allure Darkness is the main feature card for that particular issue that comes up, because like you do have that those hands where you have like a bunch of darks that there's no real use for them. But yeah, I'm just still testing it. And the extra deck is the same thing. Nothing has changed. It's still Starlight Warrior, Hot Red, Chaos Ruler, Crystal Wing, Omega, Dawn Draxer. Still need to get Baroness. Stardust Charge, TG Hyper Librarian, Junk Warrior, Junk Speeder, XL Synchron, Herald the Arclight, Cupid Pitch, Marshall Middle Marcher, and Celestial Double Charge Shaman. Still the same thing. I'm not sure if the extra deck will change as well, because Shen's looking pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I've never really like actually give it a shot, a proper shot. But yeah, that's basically gonna be it. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll see if I can change the deck, but this is what I was gonna take, and yeah. That's it. Hopefully, enjoy the video. Let's subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.